Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's session. This is session 4 of the Business Analyst Series. So we're very excited you are still with us and joining. And I just want to go through a little bit about today's session. So today, the person presenting or the people presenting will be Mukesh and Parameshwara Reddy and then also Anna Maria Bulhak. We have the whole team here as well, just to back up what we're doing today. But we'll be going through really session 4, which is happening now, which is really going through the PPD, the exercise, as a culmination of everything you've learned so far in the first 3 sessions. So we'll go through this in detail. We'll have a use case study. And then we will also talk to you about the certification contest that we're doing on the forum. So you guys have an opportunity to win a free certification voucher. And then we want to give you plenty of time to be able to ask questions about this exercise and go through the details on that. So again, we will be putting information in the chat on the series page, the forum page where you can ask questions. And then Anna Maria will also be adding some information about the contest. And just a reminder that this is week number 2. So we're hoping that you guys have been doing all your self-paced training, and that you will try to get your automation implementation methodology deep dive training, as well as your automation business analyst fundamental training done this week. If you do not complete it, don't worry, you can still do it next week, but the sooner you do it, I think the better off you are. And then we also will ask that you complete the contest application form at the end of next week also. So if you can get everything done by December 19th, that's what we're kind of shooting for. So again, if you have any questions, just let us know. I'm going to get out of this now, stop sharing, and pass this over to Mukesh, who will be talking about today's session.
Okay, thank you, Dinah. I hope you guys can hear me and see me as well. Great. Okay. So, hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Today, I would be talking about the presentation and I would be walking you through that what exactly is expected from you guys in case you want to get the certification vouchers, right? So a quick introduction about myself. My name is Mukesh Kala. I am a 4 times UiPath MVP, certified solution architect, advanced RPA developer, and currently leading the hyper automation practice for Boundaryless Group, part of Inflection AI. And also I have a YouTube channel where I teach UiPath to a lot of people. So in case you are someone who is looking to learn UiPath, you can find me on YouTube as well, right? So with that, I am going to quickly share my screen and let me know once you are able to see that. And screen number 2. Okay.
We can see it, Mukesh.
Okay, great. So guys, till this point, you have learned the basics of business analyst, and our speakers have taught you what exactly is business analyst, business analysis, how do you learn about it, how do you do it, right? But now when it actually comes to the real-time project, you would have to create and understand the project as a business analyst and put it in a format which all of us or the business people can actually relate to. And in other words, the developer can get started. To assess that knowledge and provide you an opportunity to win certificate, we have created this template. You'll get all the links and everything. In this template, the expectation from you guys would be to put up any project as per your understanding. You can take help from internet, you can take references of the project which we are going to share today, or any of the project our trainers have shared in the past. So first I will go through this template and then I'll explain you one of the project built in the same template so you guys can relate what exactly is expected. And after me, I have my friend AP who is going to share one another project so you can understand more of the business analysis, right? So this is the first sheet, guys, where you have to put your photo, your name of the project, your name, your company, and your email ID, and then some of the details here, right? Then whenever we talk about any automation problem, it has two things. One is the actual problem your automation is trying to solve, and what is the solution which you as an automation team are providing, right? So the next slide will talk about the problem statement and the solution. We'll share this template to you, so you don't have to worry about that. The next thing is, as you have learned in the previous sessions, that we have something which is called the as is process, how the business automation is looking before the automation. This is one of the sample diagram. You should include that diagram. And then what exactly is a to be, which means that how would the automation behave once you have automated that, right? So you need to have this detail: problem statement, proposed solution, as is, to be. And these are some of the matrices which as a business analyst you should come up with. What is the name, which area, which department, what is the role, how many numbers of item you are processing, number of FTEs, full-time employees. Now, I understand that you might be thinking, I don't have a real-time project. How would I get to know how many numbers of items I'm processing? Or what is the exception rate? Or what is the expectation of a full-time employee? You just can realize it like that. Whatever problem you are trying to solve, how much time the person manually doing it will take. And after the automation, you just have to come up with the numbers. Let's say if I'm talking about the credit card application, assuming that a guy takes 10 credit card application, he takes 50 minutes. So if you automate that, you are doing the work of one full-time employees. Input data, output data. I'll show you one process which you have to put, and then a one slider which will talk about your complete automation process, that what you have learned in this program, you just have to put all of that into this thing. So totally we expect you to put your data into 3 and 4 slides, which will talk about the process. These data, this is all the sample data. You just have to replace it with your set of input, right? So before I move to one of the use case which I have built using the same template, if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat and the team would be happy to reply. And then maybe I can go to meanwhile the next one. Okay, we'll just wait for 1 minute for people to ask questions. Let's see if we have any.
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
great. No question.
I was gonna just say, if you guys want to take yourself off mute, you can do that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Okay, please show the template. We'll share you the template, Jasmine, don't worry. Anna will show you where you can download the template. It is all available in the link. We'll share the link in the chats and you will have it, right? Can you please run it through it again? Yes, absolutely. I am going to show a real use case now, which you would be able to relate. And then I can again come back to the template. You would have two use cases using the same template, right? Is there any template? Yes, we have this template, which I just showcased. You would be getting a copy of the template to capture this requirement. Okay, you will be getting a link where you can download and put your requirement, right? So let me just show up a project. Yeah, this one. Okay, so first of all, I am the only one in my team. So my team member is this, my name, my image and my photo. And then what is the project? Okay, so today I want to do an automation. I went to a bank today and I saw that I applied for a credit card. Now, a lot of people are applying for the credit card from the website of the bank. So the bank has a portal where a lot of people applies application. So I can just put the marker maybe like this. Yeah, here it is. So the process start, the customer send credit card applications. All this credit card application comes back to the bank. Bank receive all the credit card applications. Now, since it is an open portal, a lot of customers are continuously applying for the credit cards. You can think it of credit card, debit card, or any other card, right? Now, what is the bank supposed to do? The bank has to verify where is the email coming from. Is it our customer? Is it a hacker? Is it a random email? Because as the bank, the email ID, they are receiving a lot of emails. So say they first validate whether it is for the credit card, the email ID is correct, it is authentic, it is one of our customer. Then they have to validate whether it has all the necessary attachment, which is nothing but a credit card form, which is there. If all of that is available, then the banker manually has to download all the applications and extract all these details from the email, and then he has to enter into the system, which is the banking system, right? So he received 10 emails. Out of these 10 emails, 7 emails are something which he is not interested and they don't have the relevant information. For the remaining 3 emails, he goes to the email, downloads the attachment, and he then saves the attachment, and then he opens a banking application, enter the details, and then he actually has to match the data with the banking data. Okay, Mukesh, yes, it is Mukesh. He has mentioned that his annual salary is, let's say, 1 lakh rupees, and in credit card he has mentioned as 50 lakhs, right? So that's a huge mismatch. So he has to mismatch, validate the data, reconcile the data manually. If all these details are correct, then he goes and he says that go ahead and apply for the card and then approve. If it is success, then you are supposed to send an acknowledgement to the customer. And if it fails, he just generates some error and send it back to the customer or to the higher department, right? This is one of the process. I went to the bank and I see that this was happening, and I see that this has a lot of scope of RPA, and this is called the as is process, means how the business is doing it today manually, right? So if I talk about the problem now, the problem is it revolves around the operational challenges faced by a team of 25 full-time employees. Now, as I was mentioning, how do you get to this number? So let's say I went to a bank which is a nationalized bank, and there are 25 employees who are doing this task full time, and they are approximately handling 30,000 requests per month, right? So depending on your use case, you can just come up with these numbers. Now, what I also found the problem was the requests are primarily received by email. They include PDF, standard, and sometimes it is handwritten, right? They might have the signatures also. Among these requests, only 2000 to 4000 involve end-to-end processing. So out of these 30,000, only 2000 to 4000 are the actual application. The rest of are incorrect data, missing junk data, right? So the bankers are spending a lot of time, and that is where I see a automation opportunity. Now, that was the problem and the as is. If I talk about the solution, I'm trying to utilize a UiPath solution, which is again, as a business analyst, I think that through UiPath, I can perform the validation because it is all mundane, repetitive task. We can read emails with UiPath. We can download the attachment. Our rules are defined. We can do the validation, approval, rejection. UiPath has capability to send and receive emails, so we can also send notification to the end users, to the supervisors, to the credit card departments, and this application facilitates connect to the third-party application or databases, right? So if I have to match the data into my banking application, I would have a database where I would have all my employees data, or sorry, all my customer data. Whenever there is a request coming for credit card, I connect it to the database, validate it, and just say that this is valid, not valid, right? So this is my proposed solution. Now, how would the 2B look like? Okay, we understand the problem. We see what is the problem. How the banker is manually doing that, we understand. Now, how would the automation do it, right? So the first step is this guy is the customer. The customer will send the credit card application. Because the customer is sending, we still have the customer, which is the starting point. Now here is a robot. The bank received the application, which means now the robot received the application. When I say robot, it is your automation. The automation received the application. It means that the email is now coming to the automation. So your input to this automation is now an email, which is having some attachments. Now, based on your business criteria that the email should be from this person, the email should be redirected to this, the attachment should be a PDF, it should not be an image, it should not be a Word file. You can always write business rule. So the automation will then validate this. If everything is good, the email is correct, the attachment is correct, it will say that yes, download the data. But at this point also you can have failures, right? Where the email is not correct. It does not have an application. So you just go to the no part and you generate exception and you send it back in an exception loop and you send it back to the user. However, if it is success, you just download the attachment. Again, RPA automation has capability to read the data from emails, download the attachment, extract the information. Then you again check whether the information is correct or not. Here, you can also include humans in the loop, which means that if there are some information which is not correct, you can include the bank personnel, which is called humans in the loop, which means that we can always write automations where the automation can also involve human. As soon as it find that the first name is Mukesh and the somebody has submitted something called Mukesh Kala, right? And the robot feel not much confident that it is correct. The automation can also include the bank personnel. In other words, it's called human in the loop. Send them a notification that, hey, these are the 2%. Do you think this is same? He say yes. Correct the information and key in the details into the banking system. What happens in the banking system? It matches the data with your master data. It can be a database, SQL, Oracle, any of the database. Enter the system and then you generate the confirmation and send it back to the person, right? So now we had a use case, we had a problem statement, which was the as is. We converted that to a to be process, which is how this will look like, and then what exactly it is going to do. So what is the process overview? And if I actually go and automate it, it is going to handle 30,000 requests, 25 FTE. Request will be sent via the email with PDF attachment. The request type can be standard and handwritten documents. Processing time, let's say to take one credit card application, it was taking 20 minutes. So depending on the volume, you can just multiply and get those numbers. Email distribution, all the mailbox are directed to the two mailboxes. And this is, I just made up that the bank has got two mail boxes. And then because it is integrated, I would also need an integration to the backend, which can be an Oracle or an SAP based system to make sure that it is integrated, right? So this is the my version of the use case, which I have presented for this group. Similarly, you guys are also expected to come up with such a use case depending on your understanding. Now, if I simply talk about the benefits, what do I get? I decrease the manual cost. I have a simple interface. I improve the accuracy. There is a audit trail because when 30,000 credit card applications are coming and you have to make an audit trail, if the robot is doing that, robot will actually more compliant. It will have an audit trail, easy scalability. My solution tomorrow, if the volume increases from 30,000 to 3 lakhs, I just have to increase my automation robots. I don't have to rewrite a lot of code. I can easily scale the solution. Quicker response time. The human user is taking, let's say 20 minutes. The automation only take 1 minute, so you can process more. Cost saving, flexibility, and security enhancement, right? So these are the benefits which I feel my automation has. And this is one short summary of my automation. Credit card application, what is the problem statement, as is, to be, benefits, process diagram, and the technologies, right? Now, as a business analyst, you should also understand that what technologies your automation is going to use. So to code, I would use Studio. To deploy Orchestrator. To run it, I would need unattended automation. Document understanding, because I had that signature thing. Action Center, because I was using humans in the loop. And then integration services. And then what are the application? I would use Outlook, Excel, and one of the banking application. So that is what my use case is, and that is what you guys are supposed to create. It can be any use case, any industry, whatever it is, right? So you just have to create that, right? I'll take a pause and answer if you guys have any question. Anna has already shared the form. She'll explain more of the details. But still, if you guys have any questions, take a pause and answer it before I give the session to Anna to explain this thing. Yeah. Okay,
No,
we'll just wait.
again,
You can
just
stop
feel
the share.
free to take yourself off
Yeah.
mute if you have any questions. This is very important. It's important to the certification test that you'll be taking as well. So just make sure that you look at the form if you have any questions about the different topic areas, or if you can change data into something else. I think there's some flexibility. But basically, the whole goal here is to use what you've learned in the first 3 classes, and then implement that data theoretically into this form. Okay, no questions so far, so I think we can move forward.
Okay, great. So now I would give the session to Anna where you can show and then we can pass it to AP for the next use case, right? Because Anna has already shared the details. So yeah, Anna,
Yes.
over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mukesh. My name is Anna, and I'm intern of the UiPath community team. Actually, there are some questions in the chat. Maybe you would like to see the first one, Mukesh. We need to come back with manual flow. Then how are we supposed to be using the automation bot?
Yes, exactly. So you have to come up with two flows. One is the as is flow, that how the business user is doing it manually and how the automation will do it. So you have two flows. You would have as is and you would have to be. You can use any of the online editors to create those workflows.
Thank
And
you.
Kriti's answer, I think, Anna, you will give, right, the form dates and all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, thank you. So I will now share my screen. Okay. So now I'm going to give you some instructions on how to successfully take part in the contest. First things first, anyone who has registered for the BA series can participate. And the participation consists in completing the Google form that you can find in the chat. I put it there a few minutes ago. I'll also show it to you, and you can find it on the series page and on the forum thread. When you open the form, you'll have there all the needed information for completing it, but I just want to point out a few things. Please make sure that you download and use the template given in the description of the form. And when you upload the link to your solution, make sure it is public so that the judge can easily access it during the judging process. And if you have any issues, don't hesitate to post on the forum thread or contact me or Mukesh. I'm going to put my email in chat and we will make sure to help you out. And you can start submitting your project starting today, and you have until December 19, so roughly 1 week until the deadline. The judging period will start right after, and the winners will be announced on January 16 during the Business Analyst Career Blueprint session that we're also going to link in the chat for you to sign up for. And the prize will be given to the top 5 participants, and you will receive points for completion of the project, use of self-paced study and UiPath session knowledge, solid problem statement, strong process diagram and results, and for maximum points, you will be pointed for the technologies and applications that will be used. Yeah, and they will be analyzed by the judges. So good luck again. For any questions, there's the forum thread, and that's my email over there. And now I will stop sharing the PPT and I will show you the form. Okay, so this is what the form looks like. I hope you can see it.
Yeah, it looks good, Anna Maria.
Okay, thank you. So here's the description. Most of this information I already said. Here is the template that I was talking about. You just open it here, you download it, and then you work on this. Oh, I see people already accessed it. You have a few questions to answer, like name, email, organization, city, the public link to the project, as I said earlier, and a few extra questions. How long have you been with UiPath? And the last question is pretty important. Like, if you win, are you willing to share the project with the community? We will make your solution public for everyone to see. And now I'll just show you where you can find it from the UiPath community platform. You can just access the Business Analyst Associate series, and you have all the information here in the description. Yeah. So that was that for me. If there are any questions.
Yeah, there is
Please
one
go ahead.
question. Is the only file we should insert into the form the PowerPoint with the use case?
Yeah, Mukesh, you can go ahead and answer it.
Yeah. So that's the only thing, guys. You just have to create the use case in the template and just upload it in a place, provide the link. But in case you have some of the supporting files for the use case, it can be, let's say, any of the images you want to share, or it can be, let's say, a process document, or let's say a PDD, right? You can actually attach the same. It would be helpful for us to understand the problem more clearly, right? So yes, you are expected only to share this form.
And what do you
Okay,
mean
what
by
do you mean
making?
by making the project public? Okay, so we have something which is called UiPath Use Case Repository, which is nothing but where you have all the projects, including the hackathons, community-driven project. This is just from the community to the community. So if your project is good, you are the winner. We would like to share that to the wider community by putting it into the use case repository of UiPath Forum.
I'm Mike Sheen here. Just to follow on that. That means that the project we pick cannot be a privileged project or a a client project. It has to be one that can be published publicly. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can actually put the client project, but you can hide the confidential details, such as, let's say, you, instead of naming the bank like bank of this country, you can just say a nationalized bank. Instead of putting the real application name, you can, let's say you are using Oracle, you can just say that we are using a database system. Instead of saying that an SAP, you can say that I am using a CRM system, right? So that way you do not, actually end up into the legal compliances, I understand, with the client data, but you can remove the confidential information and still you are okay to share those things, right? I'll quickly put the use case repository link so you guys can actually see that what I actually mean by that. So in the chat, I have put the use case repository link where we have a lot of use cases, which also you guys can refer, but don't just please copy the same project because we have access to that. So we would know that where the project is coming from. Yeah. Okay, somebody's asking what is the tool you suggest, right? So you can use Visio, and then I just forgot the name. There is a tool, Lucid Charts. Yeah, I just remember it. So there is a online, I'll just put it on the, yeah, Lucid Charts, and then you have draw.io, and then you have Visio, right? All of these tools are available for you to create that diagram online. So you can use any of those. Yeah. Thanks, AP. Thanks, Jasmine, for that.
Okay, we're just gonna go through
Most,
these questions for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah.
So the next one I think you have is, so in short, we just submit the project for assessment, no demonstration required from us, right?
No, we just select the project for demonstration. Correct.
That's correct. And then I'm confused by upload your project as public to this competition. So do you want to pull up the forum, Mukesh, and just share an example of where we post the use cases?
Yeah, sure. I can do that. So let me know if you're able to see my screen.
I can see it.
Okay, so guys, this is the UiPath forum, and you can see that we have all these use cases which are posted here. Dispatch of the letters by this person. So hyperhack recently we had, where we have the winner also. These are all the use cases which people have submitted. The whole idea here is to showcase, share your expertise with the community, right? So as you can see, we have a lot of use cases. So this is the place where we put your use cases. And yeah, that's it, right? You can also refer the existing use case, let's say pharma related, donor matcher, and all this stuff, right? It is available here.
Yeah, the benefit of doing this
Yeah.
for the community is just so other people can see examples of what, won the competition. But if you prefer not to do that, you can always opt out of that as well.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the link. I have posted the link in the chat. You can just go and explore the repository yourself as well.
Does a use case have any restrictions?
No, in context, it should be related to automation, RPA. It should utilize UiPath. And yes, that's the only thing, right? There is no restriction in terms of industry or anything. If you have a different question, right, please do explain your question. But yes, there is no restriction as such.
Yeah, and then what is the criteria we're going to use to judge the use cases?
Okay, Anna has already replied to that. Thank you, Anna, for that.
Okay, great.
The as is and the to be will be at a high level process stage, or we are supposed to provide a detailed process. The more detailed you create, the more good it would be, right? So just think it like that. You have the complete understanding of the process. For the jury, they don't understand your process. They might read it for the first time. I had the privilege of speaking in front of you and explain the project so you could understand my project, right? But if I just share you this, you might not be able to understand because that was not as detailed, right? So the more detail you could put into your project, the more detail it would be easy for the evaluators, right? So that way, just make sure that people who have no knowledge about your use case is able to read your presentation, understand what you are trying to say, understand your project, and get value out of it. That's
Yeah,
the
and
whole
this would
purpose.
also apply to if you were doing this for an organization. You know,
Yes.
if this goes around the organization and people weren't at the meeting, but they wanted to see what your project was about, this is a good way for them to be able to do that.
Yes. That's the whole purpose, because tomorrow when you go to an industry and you work for a client customer, you take the requirement, your process definition document, these things should be clearly defined and should be understandable by the other team members, right?
So it's
Okay.
just the best practice, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I think we have a couple of more questions. On which topic we need to do the project? Any topic, Sujata. It can be a use case related to banking, HR, finance. You might do something on, let's say, I'm just doing randomly, like let's say offer generating of the offer letters, creating of the salary slips, right? HR related, finance related. You just need to do a little brainstorm. You can take help from the use case repository, take internet, what all processes can be automated, read about the processes, and then put up it in a use case, right? Or maybe you can take help from the existing use case repository, as I already mentioned. For this context, we can take any one of the use case or one with the given template. We need to prepare the PPT, submit, that's it, right? Yes, exactly correct. But don't use any of the client confidential and don't use any of others data, right? Just don't go and copy paste the same data, right? You know that. So make the whole exercise for this, Karthik, is to open up you as a business analyst, where you are able to understand a problem and convert that business problem to a problem which can be to a solution which can be driven by the automation. So as is to be, you should be able to differentiate and work upon.
Yeah, and also if you're in the taking the certification test, you're not going to have the luxury of copying somebody else's information. So you want to make sure you can do this yourself. That's why we're doing this exercise for you.
And
Correct.
one more thing I would like to add is think about the idea why we are doing this exercise. It's not for the competition or it's not for the certification. Eventually, it is what you want to be as a business analyst, right? So it will be more helpful if you will take example that can help you in building your career path. That is the most important key. So if you will keep that objective in mind, everything will automatically start aligning. You will choose a use case which you may have already a domain knowledge, you are more comfortable with, you have more familiarity with, and the end goal is how you can be successful in this career path, right? So that is the bottom line. So when
Right.
you will start creating a use case, think about that. Copying will help. I mean, you can definitely copy, but what was the advantage of that, right? If you will take it as a reference and think about what if it is your first day in an organization who is trying to build an automation or establish automation, right? How you're going to tackle that. So always think about if you are new into this domain or you're trying for a job, what your first day will look like when you get the assignment to build automation. So if you will think that in mind, I think everyone will be very simple.
Thanks for that, Atul.
Mukesh, thanks for the clarification. And one more doubt, once we prepare the where we have to upload or we need to drop a mail to the respective team, how it will be.
No, you don't have to drop an email, right? That's what Anna has shared the form, and I can also show it to you. Okay, I'll just put the link again in the chat, right? And so here it is, right? You don't have to send any email. So I'll just share it again. You able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a form which I will again put on the chat. Here it is, right? So once you have identified the use case you have built, you just come to this form. And in this form only, you have the presentation link also, which is nothing but a Google presentation link. You download it, you save it, make a copy, put your use case, save it on your local. Then you come back to the form, put your name, your email address, the company. If you are not working for a company, you can just mention fresher, city, which country you are from, and then the file. You cannot directly upload the file. You just have to upload a file to some Google Drive or OneDrive. Make sure that it is accessible. How you can do that? We have given the steps to you. Whatever link you, wherever you upload your project file, it's simply that project file, right? Make sure that you are able to access it on the incognito mode, right? So for example, this attachment which Anna has shared, right? She has uploaded it to a drive. I'll just copy that. And if I just go to a incognito or a private window, I can still access that file, right? Because it is made public. The whole idea of making it public is that when we receive this link, it should open. So you provide that file, you answer this question, and you click on submit, right? So all this information will come to us, including the file which you have uploaded here into some of the Google Drive, OneDrive, anywhere you can upload, make the link public, and that's it.
So Mukesh, we should
Does
just
that
need
answer?
to
Yeah.
copy paste the link in
Paper.
that your answer option, the public accessible link.
Yes. So
Okay.
if you read the instruction, upload your project as a zip into an online storage such as the Google Drive or OneDrive. Okay. Share the project and set the URL to public. You click on share and then set it to public. To verify it is publicly accessible, paste the link into a different browser, right? So what we have shared, what Anna has shared is just a template which you have to download, do your changes and upload it on your drive, right? Because if you change that, you will lose, right? Because a lot of
Yeah,
everybody has access, right? So you need to make your own copy of it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I resubmit? Short answer, yes, but try to submit your best one.
Yep. And then one of the other questions is, do you suggest any other tools for task mining and process mining? So for that, I think I would answer, we just went through all the tools with Devyani, who I believe is on the call, at the last meeting on Monday. So please make sure you look at that recording. We also have just uploaded the slides for that. So I can put that information in the chat as well as information on the next session. So I will put, and you can also find that on the series page, but I will put that in the chat.
Okay, I think we have answered pretty much all the questions. Rest we are going to take it on the chat. And Diana, we are okay to give the session now to AP?
Yes. You want to
Over to you, AP.
introduce? You want to introduce?
Okay, so recently
Yes.
UiPath has this hackathon and AP is one of the winners. Okay, that was for me or for AP? Sorry, Diana. I don't want
No,
to
for you.
steal
For
the
you,
for
Mukesh.
me,
No,
right?
that's
Yeah,
yes.
okay. So yes, AP and myself are working in the same company. AP work as a business analyst with me, and I do the solution architect and the development. And the rest introduction AP will give, but just a quick about these things. So today's session, AP was not invited, but last week we had concluded a hackathon. AP is winner in that hackathon, and the business analyst who was supporting the complete development team with the problem statement. How do you structure the problem? How do they find the problem? What was the solution? Build the solution, deploy it, present it to the team, and then eventually winning up the global hackathon, right? So I thought it would be a good idea to introduce AP to this crowd, share some of his expertise because he's a senior business analyst, has a lot of experience, and feel free to ask any questions, right? And over to you, AP. for your introductions. Thanks, Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mukesh, and thank you, Dana, for the opportunity. And first of all, very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. To introduce myself, my name is Rameshwar Reddy. I generally go by AP or AP Reddy, and I bring with me 10 years of professional experience, out of which for the past 7 years I've been working on as a UiPath Business Analyst. And I'm a UiABA certified and also UiRPA certified. And I'm also proud to say you that I'm the only business analyst who won the UiPath HyperHack 2024.
We're very excited. Yeah.
Thank you. And today I'll take you through a simple but an engaging use case, which demonstrates the power of automation, particularly UiPath, where we have designed this project for a state government, and I'll explain you the use case. Let me share my screen before that. Hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can't see it now.
Yeah, thank you. So
No, we can't see it.
now you can't see it.
No.
It's visible, Diana, to me,
Oh,
guys.
okay.
Yeah, I can see it too.
Okay, now I
Yeah.
can see it. Sorry.
Sure. Okay. So now imagine yourself back in 2020 when the world was gripping with the pandemic coronavirus COVID-19. And as the virus spread rapidly, many got infected and everyone has to be tested. So people everywhere rushed to the testing centers, and testing centers were overwhelmed. They were working tirelessly under extreme pressures to collect samples and process the influx of the tests. So as a result, the delay became inevitable. So people were left anxiously waiting and uncertain about their health status and waiting for their results. So this made the pressure was mounting on the healthcare providers and even the government to scale up operations. So that is where an automation has come forward, and a business analyst has identified the solution, and they proposed an automation solution with UiPath. And before going to the solution, how we dealt with it, so let me take you to the steps where how actual process is being done in a lab. So picture yourself a lab diagnosis lab receiving thousands of COVID-19 test samples daily. The process generally involves extracting test data from emails or PDFs or even handwritten lab forms. So after extracting, these details has to be validated, like patient names, sample IDs, and the test dates. So after validating, this has to be uploaded into the hospital systems, software systems, or any portals like EMS, electronic medical records. And after uploading, these results has to be notified to the patients who has come for the tests, or even the healthcare providers, to draw conclusions about the outcomes and the results about the pattern, how the disease is progressing. So with manual efforts, this process is very slow, error prone, and incredibly stressful for everyone that is involved. So this is the problem. Now you have identified the problem, and as a business analyst, the main task or the main duty of a business analyst is to understand the pain point, or understand the problem of the use case. So you need to understand mainly the objectives or the pain points, and after that you can analyze it and take requirements and you can design the solution. So this is a high level solution where it is same as in as process. See, sometimes the to be flow is look like same as process, because we are just replicating the human actions, or we are just mimicking the human actions. So it will be the same until unless you do a process re-engineering to the process and you change the process path. So this is about the high level solution where you can draw easily. And this is the overview, process overview template where you will have the process full name. I'll walk you through each details. Process full name, you need to present here, and the process area, in which area the process lies in, like in a healthcare department, diagnostic data management, or in a banking sector, and even the detail level department. So generally, if it is in this process lies in pathology and laboratory services, and the process description where you need to give a high level description of the process where you wanted to target the input, the actions you do on the input, and the output you get as a result of the action. That's what you need to provide in the process short description. And the roles are required for performing this process, like the designations of the people or the personnel that are working there, and the process schedule and frequency. Generally, when do you want the process to run? So since this is a crucial process, the process has to be run daily. There are some processes which can run weekly, which can run monthly as well. And the number of items on an approximate how what is the number of items that are processed for the particular reference period or frequency, and have average handling time. This is the time that takes to process each item. So in this case, the time that takes to process each lab report is 15 minutes. And the peak period is nothing but there's a certain period of time where the volume becomes very high. Suppose, for an example, this process has peaks during pandemic surges or any seasonal outbreaks. Suppose you might have heard of flu and even this COVID as well. So whenever there is an outbreak or seasonal outbreak or pandemic surges, the volume becomes more. And transaction volume, this is an approximate number. And FTEs are nothing but the total number of FTEs or manual personnel that are working for this particular process. And expected increase volume in the next reference period is nothing but if you expect any number of volume increase in the peak period, you need to mention it here. And level of exception rate. So exception is nothing but sometimes the process deviates from the usual path. For an example, so this process gets COVID-19 results to the users' email boxes. Sometimes you get emails, results of normal users, like say some cardiology or some heart diseases or some fever results or something you may get, where you need to treat these as an exceptions from the COVID results. So you need to mention the percentage of exception rate. Input data, nothing but as I told, the business analyst should focus on the input. Here, the input data is nothing but the lab reports from the emails, and the output data, test results that are entered into the EMRs and the patient notifications. So this is the overview template where you need to write, and this is the starting of the PDD where you get the complete details of assess process. And as Mukesh already mentioned, this is a high glance of the complete process where you can see like use case template from starting to end, what are the results you achieved and what is the solution you have proposed and what is the assess process and what is to be processed. Yeah, so this is about the complete simple use case of COVID-19. Yeah, any questions I'd like to answer? Mukesh, got you. Mukesh.
Okay, so yes, that's it. Diana, what
Yeah,
we
that was
have next?
amazing.
Yeah.
Project AP. So thank you for sharing
Thank you.
that. And I think it's a great example of exactly what we're looking for. So as you saw, AP kind of went through a couple of pages, to share his example. And that's kind of what we're looking for as well. And then the last final page, could you pull that back up? AP is just the finale or everything on one page is here. And so this ultimately is going to be what we're looking for you to provide this kind of detail to us. But if you listen to AP, he was really talking about the steps he took in order to create all this detail to put on this one page. So you can either share, multiple pages with us or just the one page. I think that's okay, right, Mukesh?
Yes, yes, this one page is like a kind of an overview, but if you don't want to put it, you can put it into multiple pages. That is also fine. But by this way, you get a one page of view, right? So yes.
Right, exactly. Great. Yeah, so I just want to make sure that we're still answering any questions. That was the optimal page question. Um, and we just showed you that one more time. So when you watch this recording, which I will post tomorrow, you should be able to go back and view this video, and you can like have that as an example as well, in case you need that. So today we went through the template, we went through the contest, and that's located on the forum. If you have any questions after this session about the contest, about what we reviewed today, again, you would go to the forum page that we set up for you to ask any questions. And then we will continue to answer those. So I think we also covered the fact that we'd like you to finish your self-study courseware for this, and we would like you to finish and submit your contest entry by December 19th. The reason for that is because the holidays are coming up here. And so we want to make sure everybody does this before they go on break, so that they can enjoy the holidays mainly. And then also we will then have an opportunity to go through all the entries and make sure that we can give those to the judges in time for them to evaluate those. We will then be notifying and announcing the winners at our January 16th event or session. So you want to make sure that you sign up for that. Again, that's the January 16th event, and you can find that on the series page.
May I add
So
something? Sorry, Diana.
sure.
Because I noticed there are already 2 responses for the Google form. I just want to let everyone to clarify once again that for the question with the public link of the project, you should put the link after you complete the template, because I have an answer that says just okay. So please make sure that you have the link before you submit on the form, so that it's we can organize and judge it clearly. Thank you.
Right. So don't fill out the incomplete form until you have your project completed. And then you're going to take that link that is now on Google Drive that Mukesh told you to make it publicly shared. Take that link, put it in your form, and then submit. So hopefully that's really clear. Because if we get a form from you and there's no link in it, then we cannot judge it. If you cannot submit by the end of the day on the 19th, then it will not be, we'll not also not be able to judge it, because you've missed the deadline. So make sure you keep those dates, in your mind, when you're working on this project. If you need help, again, you need to go to the forum. If you have any, questions on when the last day, the last sessions will be, we have another session next Monday where you're still able to ask questions. And then we have one on January 16th, and you can find all that information on the series page. I'm also going to talk about certification because I had a couple of questions on forum about this. But the pre-test for the certification for the BA Associate certification, it will not be available for 2 weeks. You guys are getting this certification before anybody else. This is just released. So again, the pre-test for the certification will not be available for you to access for 2 weeks. And then the other thing I wanted you to know is I just want to go through the retake program again, and I will go through this again on Monday, but there for the contest, we will be giving out 5 free certification vouchers. So the winners, we should have 5 winners, and each one of those will get a free certification voucher. For the rest of you, we've had many questions about certification. The certification cost is $150. You are required, if you do not win the voucher at the contest, to go ahead and take that certification at your own cost. If you do not pass that certification and receive a not passed notice, you would then send that to me, and I will and you have to do this by the date of March 31st, because I'm only going to give you 3 months to try to take the certification. If you do not pass, I will give you a free voucher so that you can take that again and you can study longer for it and take it again. So that's a really valuable offer. It means that you don't have to worry when you first take it, because if you fail, you'll get another free trial to take it. So I have every confidence that you guys will pass this in the first go, given the self-paced study and the information that we're sharing with you through this series. So if you have any questions on that, you can let me know as well. Okay, so I'm just going to see if there's any more questions for today.
And I just quickly would take 1 minute, Diana, to show people how do you get that public link. I see
Sure.
just now here. Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm going to share my screen, right? And let me know if you're able to see that.
Yes.
Okay. So I am on my Google Drive, right? So this is my Google Drive. So I had just, let's say, created this product, right? Or let's say this, I'll just template, right? This is my project template. I'll just go here. I'll go to the send to, I'll say zip folder, right? I'll just zip the project and the file, right? And then here it is. And then all I have to do is I just drag and drop into my Google Drive, which is this. It can be your OneDrive as well. And then you can see that this is getting uploaded. It will be uploaded here. And now, as of now, this is only on my drive. If I share this link to you, you won't be able to access it, right? So I go here into the 3 dots, and then I have this button here which says share. And I click on this guy which says share or copy link, anything, right? So I can go to the copy link or share. It's mostly the same. It's link copied. And then you see it says manage the access, right? So if I go to manage access, then it is going to ask you, right, that you have the link. Whom do you want to give it? You can put the email ID, or you can just go here and say anyone with the link. So when I say anyone with the link, it's going to create a link which can be accessed anybody in the world, which you just go and put it in the form, right? So you just, I can say done, or you can just go here, click on this 3 dots again, share, and click on this guy which says share. This will open the same pop-up, and then you say where do you want to say. I just say not restricted, anyone with the link. I got this link which is copy link. Now if I just go to my incognito mode without even signing in, and if I just put this link here, you would see that I would be able to access the file because I have made it public, and that way I am able to download it, right? So this is the same link. You have to put it into the form and not just write hello there, right? So okay, great. Any more questions, guys? Okay, then over to you, Diana.
Sorry, I was talking on mute. So if the winner of the free voucher does not pass the certification, I will give them a free retake too. Again, you would just have to notify me by the 31st of March, and let me know that you did not pass, and I will give you another free voucher. If we fail even after paying the fee, is there an option to send you an email to get the voucher? It's just one time. I'll give you a voucher. So if you fail, yes, you just let me know that you failed. I need a message that states that, and then you'll get another voucher. And then just, and as Anna Maria said, just make sure that you guys read all the instructions. Again, this video is going to be available for you to watch again, so you can slow it down and watch it a couple times if you need to. I think we've done a good job of sharing with you where the form is. You just go to the contest page. The biggest part is really downloading the form, finishing that whole form, finishing your project in that form. Then you're going to put that on the Google Drive, or the drive that you want to. You're going to share the link. And when you get that shared link, you're going to then go to your form and fill it out with your name, all the information, and put that one link in the form. That should be really clear now. And then you want to make sure also that you sign up for the next session on Monday. So if you guys want to take some time, maybe tomorrow or the next day, to try to look at the form, download it. If you have any other questions, you can still ask us on Monday. So I think that I'm not sure that can get any clearer than that. And then just remember that you have all the past sessions that you attended. You have information from session 3 on the tools, UiPath tools. You have information from session 1 and 2 on the methodology. You have session information on the automation platform from Atul from session 3. So all that information is available to you. All the slides are available to you. I think you guys will do fine. And then, at the end of taking all your self-paced courses on the 29th, the last thing you want to do is take your assessment. And that should just be a quick, 15-minute assessment. When you finish all your self-paced materials, because you guys can go ahead and do that now, you're going to get a certificate from UiPath that says that you've completed the BA Associate Series. So that's something that you guys should be very proud of, and looking forward to you guys getting that. That's certainly something that you can put on your LinkedIn profile. So that's pretty cool. So with that, I think, unless somebody has something else, I think we're kind of finished with this session.
Last thing, talking of the LinkedIn, guys, since you guys are attending this session, I see a lot of common audience, right? It would be good if you guys can post your learnings, tell the social media that you are attending this series, you are part of this series, so you can encourage other people from your company, from your friend circle to join this program. If they have missed the session, they can still participate, watch the recording, right? And it would be a good feedback for us as well, right? So yeah, just a request.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, AJ, for sharing your project. Again, thank you, Anna Maria, for sharing the contest. And we'll see you guys all on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.